All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my second review for the new sci-fi series Day of the Dead, Episode 2, Season 1. This one is called Chum. Alright, and possible spoiler warning if you guys have not seen the second episode yet for the new sci-fi series Day of the Dead. Awesome. So I decided I would go ahead and do kind of a second follow-up review for Day of the Dead because it is a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing like every episode going forward, but if each episode sort of continues along like this, then maybe I will, because it's really a lot of fun for people that are fans of that sort of 80s, zombie apocalypse, and even some of the kind of the 80s comedy zombie movies. If you guys remember, I think there was like, because you have the original Romero trilogy with Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and this one, of course, being kind of a series version of Day of the Dead set in modern day in Manhattan. But it sort of has like, I think, Revenge of the Living Dead, which was kind of like an 80s comedy type of series. And this one we can start to see more of kind of the comedic kind of elements. I actually like the second episode more than the first episode. I thought the first episode was good, but this second episode I enjoyed it a lot more. It even has like an 80s kind of theme to it in terms of the theme music of the episode. And there's even a part where you see like a zombie lose its arm, and so then the arm starts kind of moving by itself and opening up. So they're basically stuck in this one in a basement where they're basically in a morgue for Cam and Lauren. And Lauren has been bitten. She gets bitten in the first episode. Cam is kind of the lead character, I feel like, for the show so far. I mean, there's several, but so he's stuck there with her, and you have kind of all the different so in this one, sort of all the dead are coming back to life, even ones that are buried in the cemetery and this whole thing. So the ones that are in the morgue that are already locked off in the kind of compartments start to sort of kind of bang against the doors and try to get out, and one of the dumb people that's there sort of lets one out, loses an arm, the arm starts moving by itself. So definitely with this series, with this version of Day of the Dead, it's not as serious as like the Day of the Dead movie, which was more of a serious take on the zombie apocalypse, more similar to kind of what we're used to. This series for Syfy is sort of like, it's less than even half serious. It's comedic. It's fun. Seeing the arm move by itself after it's kind of removed from one of the zombies is funny to see. And so the arm starts like crawling up and opening some of the other morgue compartments, so some of the other zombies can come out. And it's pretty funny. There's also a part where they're kind of Cam and Lauren are throwing body parts from a person that's kind of had his upper torso chewed off. So they're throwing body parts out to try to distract some of the zombies in and around. And then one of them bites into a piece of there's like what are they? Like intestines or something. Part of its guts go out, and one of the zombies kind of bites onto it and sort of gets kind of attached to it at the back of a car while it's driving away, which is pretty funny. So there's lots of different little funny stuff in the in this second episode. Chum, it is more fun than the first episode, and basically we're seeing kind of the start of the zombie apocalypse in this series. And they even call, I think Lauren at one point, she calls the cops in this one to try to report what's happening. And he tells her to report a zombie apocalypse, and she says, "I'm not saying that, right?" So, so it's pretty funny, So you have zombies starting to kind of come up all over the place, and anyone who's recently died is coming back to life. And I just felt like the episode was a lot of silly fun. In this one, we have Paula Bowman, who is the mayor, who's looking to get reelected. So You have her and Trey, I believe his name is, who accidentally kills somebody. This like guy who's heckling her. And so then by the end of the episode, he starts to kind of turn too. So he's going to be probably a zombie in the third episode. You also have Luke Bowman and his friend. What is his friend's name here? I'm not sure. But they're going to go to a party, and they've got like a keg, and they accidentally sort of knock the keg down into the water, where you have kind of a swamp zombie that kind of comes up. So, I won't go too long with this review of this episode. I just thought it was a lot of fun. It's cool because we have so much of the kind of more serious zombie apocalypse stuff that takes itself seriously. Similar, like we cover a lot for Walking Dead and the different, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, even World Beyond now, and then the other shows that AMC's going to do, spinoffs and whatnot for Walking Dead. It's cool to see something that is not so serious in this kind of a space. So it sort of feels a little bit like Z Nation, but so far from the first two episodes, I do feel like it's actually better than Z Nation. It kind of has some vibes for me for Stranger Things as well. I think I've seen a few series now that sort of have some Stranger Things vibes in them, with kind of the younger sort of crew here in this one with Luke and Cam and Lauren. They're like high school type of age. Or Jai, who's a little bit older, maybe 20s or something like this. And so, you have them, and they're fun to see. You have kind of the 80s style sort of theme music and everything, which is really fun. And then you have the zombies coming up out of their graves. You have the silliness of them losing arms and the arms moving by itself. It's definitely something different. I thought that they might be going with kind of a more serious type of approach for Day of the Dead, considering the original movie is quite serious. But I guess maybe they decided there's so much of that kind of already that they would do this one in a comedy type of style as well. And I know that Z Nation became very popular. A lot of people really love Z Nation. So I'm wondering how this one will be received, just 2 episodes in, but I'm wondering if it'll get a second season, and I'm wondering how people kind of feel about it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it's super silly and just really, for as far as that kind of like 80s nostalgia for fans of kind of silly zombie stuff from the 80s or fans of zombie apocalypse stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's worth watching these first couple episodes and see if it's something that appeals to you and you kind of enjoy. It certainly does for me. So I love the second episode. I actually like it better than the first episode. I laughed quite a few times through it. I thought it was really funny. Sometimes it's gross, but at the same time it's really funny as well too. And even though it's sort of comedic, the zombies in it are kind of scary too, because they're not exactly fast zombies, but they're not exactly the slowest ones either. So they're sort of somewhere in the middle, and it just feels like everybody is kind of somewhat incompetent in this show. So there's not a whole lot of sense of security for anybody, considering kind of how they all just sort of kind of seem to be completely out of their element, at least to start with. So for this second episode, follow-up episode, I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Love the theme. Love the style. Love the nostalgia feel of it, which I'm really, really enjoying. And, that's pretty much all I got to say for this episode. Chum, second episode. Really fun. Check it out if you guys haven't seen Day of the Dead yet and you want to get a good laugh. But I feel like the second episode is funnier than the first one. So watch the first one if you want to. When you watch the second one, wait till the end and then see what you think about it, because I just think it's really, really funny. Maybe even more funny than Z Nation, and possibly a better setup for the first couple of episodes than Z Nation was when it originally aired. That's it for this review, guys. If you'd like to, please sum it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe at the bottom if you're new. That's it for this one. See you again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. Stay in peace later, guys. See you soon.